And the first question comes from Phil Redbeard, or Phil Barbarossa. Phil Redbeard says, you've talked about renovating your cave space to accommodate more tools, and it happened, and to give yourself more space to work. How do you balance workspace with creature comforts? I'm trying to do the same in my small workspace and finding it quite difficult. Creature comforts are super important. For me, the creature comforts in the shop are chairs. I love these medical stools. I'm sitting on one right now. I had two of them, and both of them with torn up leather tops, or pleather, Naugahyde. And a lovely friend of mine made this top for me. And frankly, it's with the pigskin leather, it's a delight to sit on, and way better than the standard chair because it's got some memory foam in it. This was an improvement in my quality of life that I didn't know I needed. But I have always had in this space a seat or a couch in the cave, because while I am on my feet almost 99% of the time, I do need downtime, and I like to veg out on a couch and surf or listen to a podcast. The couch went away a long time ago. I moved that over to the tested offices. But I have this leather club chair over here that is it's so funny. This leather club chair, I was in a thrift store in Valencia with my wife a few years ago, and I was like, look at this chair. It's like the platonic ideal of a club chair. And she said, they have a price tag on it, and if you give them that amount of money, they'll let you take it away. I was like, it hadn't even occurred to me to buy this thing. I've been ecstatic ever since. It's a stunning chair, and it's a really great vegging chair. I give my example, but each of our creature comforts are different. One of my other creature comforts is the fridge I have here in the cave. I bought this old Red Bull retail fridge so I can see into it, and it's glass front and glass sides. You can find these on Craigslist if you look. The retail fridges are really nice for a shop space. They just have a great energy about them. That's not the big dumb fridge, and they take up less room. I would ask yourself about what are the creature comforts that work for you in the cave. They might be a great sound system. My quality of life improved here when I put in the Meyer sound monitor for obvious reasons. It sounds amazing. And at the end of the day, I can put it up loud and sweep up. Lighting is also a creature comfort as well as a necessity. It can do both. The lighting here is, all the lighting in the cave is going to get rejiggered in the next few months. That's another longer term project Joey and I have. I often answer questions by saying the asking of the question is part of the solution. I mean, obviously it is, because you're looking for a solution. But what I mean to say is, Phil Redbeard, the fact that your attention is on the creature comforts in your shop is already a step ahead. Because this bears directly into Josie Mayday's question, who says she's rewatching Mythbusters because for the first time in forever, everything we ever shot on Mythbusters is available in one location on Max, formerly HBO. Why you would get rid of the HBO mark, I have no idea. But over there on Max, it's all 14 seasons, plus all the Christmas specials and all the 2-hour specials and everything. Anyway, Josie Mayday is watching it and says, I've been wondering, how have Jamie's shop infrastructure practices influenced your own? Is there anything you learned that you loved or hated from spending so much time at M5? I think the central organizational philosophy Jamie had at the shop, the most visible one, was the wall of boxes with labels on every single one. And I definitely think that is an excellent practice, especially when you are a jack of all trades kind of shop like the shops that we have. I love clearly visible labels. I love being able to go shopping with your eyes. That's a big deal. it's a gift to other people using the shop. Besides that, almost all of my shop organizational practices have been developed in contrast to Jamie's. And frankly, the very reason that I have a philosophy about shop practice comes from working back and forth in my shop and Jamie's shop, and my shop and Jamie's shop. And there was this moment when it was early on, it was like season 2, so this is like 2005, 2006. I'm like doing something in the machine shop in Jamie's space, in the Mythbusters shop at M5. I'm doing something in the machine shop, and I walk to go get a hammer because the hammers are in the wood shop, and you know, it's just 75 feet to get there and back. But I needed like 3 different hammers over the course of the day, and I was getting really pissed off about making that walk all the time. And I'm like, why isn't there a hammer in the machine shop? I need a dead blow hammer in the machine shop. And then I thought, right, Jamie doesn't think he does not think there needs to be a hammer in the machine shop. And it's because the hammers already have a location. And I know that the Indiana farm boy in Jamie likes the idea that the location has been established. That problem is solved. It needs no more attention. He does not mind the walking. And he does not mind the walking because he's got a very different approach to his flow state than I have to mine. What is his? I have the slightest idea. But I can tell you, if he's walking to get every hammer he needs, it's very different than my flow state, where if I'm working at a tool where I regularly need a hammer, I want to end up putting that hammer right there. So both of my lathes have a hammer next to them because dead blow hammers are necessary. Like I like to point out that I have T-handled Allen wrenches at almost every station in this shop because I don't like walking to get them. But again, those are the specific philosophies. It was realizing that the Indiana farm boy and Jamie did not mind the sort of petty privations of extra walking in contrast to what he considered an efficient layout of tool distribution. And I was like, right, Jamie's shop exemplifies his own philosophy about how to work. Oh my God, every shop is an externalization of a philosophy about how to work. Now, that occurred to me, again, 2005, 2006. I came up with the idea for first order retrievability for my tools back in 98, 99. But it wasn't until, I think, 2 years ago, it was during COVID that I realized that my shop philosophy isn't first order retrievability, although I had been thinking that it was. When I actually looked at it through the lens of what is a philosophy, I have to admit that first order retrievability is still it's a framework that I impose because of my philosophy. And my philosophy turns out to be the lowest possible threshold to the flow state. I hate looking for stuff, so I make everything as retrievable as quickly as possible. Because when I'm looking for stuff, I'm getting out of character. I'm breaking out of the build. I'm not in the concentration mode. I had to drill a hole. You need one drill bit of a certain size. That drill bit doesn't exist. Oh my God, now getting this hole drilled is a whole thing of several other steps, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And I get all cranky about that. So my design of a shop is about reducing the time you spend retrieving or looking for things, because those inhibit my flow state. Every shop has lessons to teach you. I learned how to store my tape specifically because I was in a theater in the Midwest on a tour with Michael Stevens, and I saw them storing tape horizontally, and I was like, you guys are geniuses. And I took all these pictures of it, and they were all like, yeah, we're geniuses. They knew they had something good. I've been to shops in two different shops in Cleveland that gave me great inspiration. One was a little motorcycle shop, but the other was a ThinkBox, Case Western's 7-story makerspace. Again, that's a space that was specifically designed for the lowest possible threshold to entry. But again, I think I've gone quite far afield. I think every shop has something to teach you if you have your own shop. And it's really great. People don't mind you taking pictures, always ask, but it is really great to take pictures of stuff that you find surprising in the way someone lays it out, because you could learn from that much later. I have a whole folder on my computer of other people's shops. D Friendly says, is the reworking of your shop space going to include your loft spaces? Directly above us is a, what is that, 15 by 30 foot loft space. And it's all the pipes are at about this height. So I have to go up there with a hat because I'm going to ding my head. The loft space is actually in a pretty good state. Freddie, my old shop assistant Freddie, really tamed it with a whip and a chair years ago, and I'm able to maintain it ever since pretty well. I will tell you, though, that within the tile puzzle of my life, this build filled other tiles. The makerspace at the tested offices is just a closet right now. I rented a third storage space. Do I have two? Yes, I have two, one here and one in New York. I rented a third storage space just as an extra empty tile to put stuff while I moved stuff around the cabin. I've only rented it for a month, and I'm really hoping I get to hold to that. The other storage space, I have another storage space here in the Mission. I have 1,000 square feet, and that is in pretty good shape also. In that, there's nothing in there that I don't know where it is, for the most part. There's still a couple of bins of old Mythbuster props that I haven't seen in a couple of years, but I know they're there. I'm just not sure how buried they are. One of the issues is when Michael Stevens and I toured around the world with our Brain Candy show in 2017, our set dressing were all these road boxes of various sizes, but many of them were quite big. I kept them all. They are all in my storage space, and they're all filled with stuff. Thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to support us even further, you can by becoming a tested member. Details are, of course, below, but it includes all sorts of perks, and we're building them all the time. You get advanced word and behind-the-scenes photos of some of our projects. Questions, you get to ask direct questions during my live streams, and we have some members-only videos, including the Adam real-time series of unbroken, unedited shots of me working here in the shop. They are weirdly meditative. Thank you guys so much. I'll see you on the next one.